with a whole lot of truth. Remedy Revolution is here for you. Ooh. And now here's your host, Erin Paige.
All interviews presented on the Remedy Revolution podcast are designed to provide information and inspiration only. Guests of the podcast may present opinions and anecdotes which are solely their own. And as always, before beginning any treatment protocol, please consult with your preferred medical provider. Hey everyone, welcome to the Remedy Revolution. My name is Erin, and today's guest is actually somebody that I met not too long ago, but I'm really excited to have her on. She is a relationship expert. And when we talk about health, you know, a lot of times some of the things that get neglected are things like the relationships in our life. So I am very excited to have her on. Thank you for joining me. This is Helena Summer.
Hello, Erin. Nice meeting you. Nice meeting you. Nice being here. Thank you.
So, Helena, tell us your story, because I find your story so interesting. And how did you get into being a love expert? What led you down that path?
War.
Wow.
I actually grew up in war and ended up in a refugee camp at the age of 16. And I looked around me and I was all alone. All alone. My twin sister and I were separated. My brother was on front line. My grandma's house was bombed. My best friend died. And I'm stuck in a refugee camp. And I'm thinking, I have nothing. I have nothing. And then I got enlightened. Oh, but I have my heart. And then I got real enlightenment. But my heart is full of hatred. I hate war. I hate men. I hate Serbians. I hate refugee camp. I hate myself. And then the real awakening happened. I am part of the problem. With all this hatred in my little 16-year-old heart, if I had an atomic bomb, I would use it, right? And this is when I realized hating Serbians, hating this and hating that, hating myself is the problem. And that's when I got the openness that it's my time to do the opposite. Healing means to behave and do and be the opposite. And that was love. And that's how it all started. I didn't choose it. It chose me. It took me through the path of all of this. And I wanted to stop the war in my country, and I couldn't. But I can stop the war in relationships. Many relationships. So that's how we make peace in the world.
Absolutely. It begins with each and every one of us, right? I think that's so amazing. So you also had an interesting journey even after that. So something that you shared with me, and I know you share with many of your clients, is that you initially were going to become a nun, correct?
Yeah, that awakening in a refugee camp took me to one day when baby died, and it was so miserable. I was so mad at God. And I said to God, I'm going to find you and kick your butt. How can you make the baby die? I was so mad. And you know, when you are young and have this passion, so I just decided I'm going to find God. And I ran away from refugee camp and I looked around and asked everybody, where is God? Where is God? Where is God? Where is God? And then at some point, there were these three glowing women. They just came and I said, why do you ask us? I said, you're nothing special. I ask everybody, I need to find God. And they said, come with us. And they were nuns. And this is how I started my journey of celibacy, simplicity, and poverty, dedicating my life to peace, to God, to love.
So after that, obviously, you did not become a nun. So
I was for 6 years, yeah.
Oh, right. But I meant you moved on from that phase of your life.
Thank God I did.
So what was it that made you eventually decide, okay, maybe this isn't the path to teaching others about love or, you know, expressing love in such an enormous way? So what led you down your current path then?
Humans are finite and fallible beings. Any human you're going to marry, any human you get interaction with, including the holy humans who are trying to do some playing religion. So organized religion has its darkness in it. So I had to leave because it was suffocating the whole purpose why I came. If I have to live my life again, I would still do it, but only maybe for 3 years, maybe 4. I would not stay as long. So it would still be important part of my life because I learned things that you cannot learn in this world. You just simply cannot. It's just such a valuable wisdom that I had from young age. But starting this path of how I'm teaching love, it's because we all have to deal with each other. And it's a perfect battlefield for all your traumas, all your problems, all your pain. And it's a perfect opportunity to heal it all.
Mm-hmm.
I always say, one man heals what another man hurt.
Mm.
And it really happens that way. If you are not dating or being in relationships from the pattern of repetition of trauma reenhancement, you will always meet a better version who will help you heal something that you need to be healed. And it's absolutely beautiful to see how we dance together. And yeah, that's the answer to your question.
I think what you bring up is such an amazing topic that, many of us need to heal not only our romantic relationships, but all of the relationships in our lives. And I absolutely agree with you that the only way to do that is through love. And sometimes love means, things that are not comfortable, obviously. So let's kind of dive in a little bit. When you deal with people that perhaps come from a very broken situation where they feel like they've been hurt, not only by romantic partners, by by life, by the people surrounding them, how do you assist them in really tapping into reconnecting and creating those loving relationships again?
Yeah, this is a very wide question that you
Sure.
just asked. Depends of people's readiness. You cannot just throw a hose of water at somebody who only can take a little bit of little tiny glass.
Mm-hmm.
For some people, sometimes we start. You cannot start with forgiving your father if you're not ready to be there. But sometimes
Right.
this is when we need to start. Okay, you cannot forgive your father. Can you find anything good about any man? No. Every man, everybody is, all men are dogs, blah, blah, blah. So you assess based on where they are, their readiness. Sometimes we literally don't have calories to heal. We just can't. Sometimes, really, the most radical thing you can do is to take a nap. Sometimes it's even take an ice cream and dive into that bucket to numb some of those feelings so that you can survive a day.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes denial is a coping mechanism that can actually work on a certain levels of consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
right? If I have a client who is super ready and it's really living in a space of awareness, okay, I've been bitchy at all the men. I've been really negative about this. I really am scared of that. And I see I'm the problem. What can I do? We start completely differently than if we would start with somebody who is like, my sister told me to come and see you, but you cannot help me. Nobody can help me. I've been in therapy for 20 years. Everything sucks. You see?
Right.
So
Right.
it's very important, even as a friend or a professional, to see where somebody stands. What's their appetite for growth? What's their calorie, how much calories they have to do anything? Do you want to take a walk? Maybe that's all we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And just a walk can regulate the system by 1, 2, 3%. And some people are really ready. Bring it on. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Let's go. I've been there, done that. I'm ready for deep. And there is no judgment. Everybody is ready for their next level.
Yeah, and you brought something up too, which I think is so important, is the ability to self-reflect. And I think a lot of times when we put ourselves in the mode of victim, we do not allow for the space to be able to self-reflect, which I think is hugely important, recognizing where your flaws are or how, even in, somewhat abusive situation, how did you contribute? Because, a relationship certainly takes two people, not that you're blaming yourself, but to have the idea of being able to reflect on, where you were contributing. So coming up with, currently in today's world, we are talking about a very different landscape with regard to dating and romance than, even when I was in my teens and 20s.
20 years ago, yeah.
How do we navigate this very different world, particularly if we are of a certain age? And, and what is the best way, if you will, to really engage with people, rather than this very, I find most things to be very superficial level now. So how do we get to that place of connection in a world that feels very superficial?
Yeah. Yeah. This is such a deep question. It really shows that you are mindfully addressing things. Everybody is in this world. You cannot live in this world without a cell phone. You cannot get a job. You cannot get an Uber. You cannot log into your airplane or whatever. So everything has changed. In the good old times, almost everybody knew how to cook.
Right.
Now people don't even know how to cook. They can boil an egg and put a frozen, pizza in the oven or something simple, right? It's skills that we had as humans before have changed. Doesn't mean it's good or bad. It's just things are changing. But as you want depth and sincerity, authenticity, you need to know thyself. And then okay, I live in a technology world, but I don't want to operate on that level. How can I meet people? Okay, I'm going to say yes to every party. I'm going to go out to do activities that I like. I'm going to play golf. I'm going to go to dog group, whatever. I'm going to go to mom's group. I'm going to go to somewhere where I could meet people, because everybody knows somebody who is single who could potentially be your partner, right? Or you give yourself, okay, I'm going on 3 swipes a day online, and you know your limits and you know what you can do, and you quickly, in your profile, in the way you start, if you are texting with people, you talk about, I love in-person meetings. There is nothing more attractive than a man who initiates in-person meeting. Or you can even say, I'm an old school. My grandma would roll in the graveyard if she sees me swiping like this on the phone. She would tell me, meet men in person. So if you want to invite me to meet you in person, I would be so happy. Right? So you, in a positive way, invite yourself to be invited by men. But you also must know, in the confinements of the world that it is today, we have so much help that keeps us busy.
Right.
My grandma used to say, she said, oh, in my time, we didn't even have electricity, but we had time to do everything. And now I have the phone and TV and the electricity and everything, and I don't ever have time. How is that possible? Right?
Right.
We become slaves in that machine. And it's not good or bad. It's just how machine operates. And if you know yourself, I want to have deep, loving relationship. First, where do I meet people? Decide with yourself. I'm going out 3 days a week, 2 days a week, whatever. Or I'm doing 3 days a week, I'm swiping, 3 days a week, I'm going out. I will be consciously asking all my friends to introduce me to people. I will say yes to every invitation. Even if I don't like him on the outside, I'm going to say yes to find the depth. Because that's what I'm craving. And how often you see people who don't look like a good match, but they are amazing match because they went past the external and found their depth.
Right.
Yeah. You find how you operate, and then you just operate the way that you can in the confinements of this world. And open up. Because look, somebody is looking for you just when you are looking for them.
Right.
We are so lonely. Do you know we are loneliest than ever before humanity has been in the planet?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about that on the podcast, and I think that's hugely important to bring up because, loneliness has risen as technology has risen.
Yeah.
And so we are in this space of really wanting to connect, but then you look at the younger generations and they haven't grown up with the skills to be able to connect in person. So, you notice things like people, when I was younger, used to chat in the line at the grocery store, that little things like that don't happen nearly as often as they used to, say, 20 or 30 years ago, which I think it's telling more of a story about our future generations in my mind, because it's particularly difficult for the young people. And then it creates more loneliness and more anxiety, more depression, all of those things, because they don't have the skills to be able to connect. So, for somebody who is really struggling, trying to find those skills of connection, what might you recommend that's where somebody might be able to start?
Number one, most important, don't take it personally. Look, before you go meeting people and putting yourself out on the limb, spend some time people watching. You can see families of 3 kids and husband and wife. Everybody is on their phone until dinner arrives, and you just observe. Okay, this is the culture. You watch people walk. Everybody's with the headphones talking to somebody. They're not here. They're not available to even see you. So you have to first understand things that you make it easier on you, because no matter how much others judge us, when we start judging ourselves and concluding, nobody loves me, I'm not good enough, I don't have any chances, blah, blah, you will actually start digging yourself a hole in which you will never get out of. So first, don't take anything personally. Spend time watching people. Just spend time and watching. Okay, if I were to approach this person, if I were to say something to this person, and you just notice nothing would probably happen. Maybe something would. What can I do? Right? So asking of people to go and meet somebody can be really, really scary.
Right.
So what is not scary? Where can you start? We don't want to get out of the comfort zone. Definitely not. We want to expand the comfort zone. I'm only comfortable here, but I'm very lonely here. I would love a little more. What? Or maybe I could go to a concert when there is already people are kind of engaging and dancing, and maybe I can just be part of it. Okay, I try. No, I'm too introvert for that. That doesn't work. Okay, maybe I can try a painting class. Okay, everybody's engaged with somebody else who they came with. I feel so alone. Okay, I can try. You see, you expand, not needing to win right away. The goal is not to win, to make it happen. If you are really looking for depth, the world is designed of victory over sanctity. I need to win this. I need to be married within 3 months. I need to blah, blah, blah. You can actually prioritize your sanctity over the victory. Seeking understanding of how the world works. Where is my position in the world? What do I want to do? What do I have energy to do? What do I not want to do? Is sanctity. You are coming to meet you. You really are. By the way, do you know that there are so many young people in new generations who are actually ditching smartphones, who are actually choosing, I want to learn how to work in a backyard. I want to learn how to bake. I want to learn how to, because they see pendulum will always swing. And it's already swinging way too far to impersonal. We don't even know who we are. And now the pendulum will swing back. Some people will stay there, some people will go.
Mm-hmm.
And this is that awareness, what you brought up, right? Your ability to be willing to take care of you.
Right.
It's very sexy.
Mm-hmm.
People see somebody is prioritizing their well-being and letting loose and being free. People like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And organize. There was a party, cool people party. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's called the cool people party. What you do, you bring out, you come up with 2-3 friends, whoever you have. They don't have to be close friends. And then you tell them, I want to organize cool people party. Bring one person who you know is cool. So now you know 3 people who you invite, and they all bring one extra person.
Mm-hmm.
So now you have 7 of you,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which is intimate enough. We're going to play games. You put some, I don't know, Pictionary or something, dinner and game night with the cool people. And then you start, everybody wants to believe I'm cool. And cool people party, actually, that was, I don't know when exactly, 2015, 17, something like that. It really took on. And then with the COVID, it kind of dimmed down, right? But there is so many ways. And yes, we can feel like a victim of societal programming. But we can also say, yes, this is what's happening. It's just a machine. I want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
You use a lot of intelligence and creativity how to make that happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Cool people party.
I love it. So for those who are already in relationships who might be struggling with deeper connection, whether it's because of challenges that present themselves in the relationship or pressures from the outside, from society, what is the way forward? How do they move forward? Say, for example, when they're in a scenario that is very stressful, maybe it's finances, maybe it's, the death of a parent, or maybe it's the illness of a child or the illness of one of the partners. How do we begin to heal and repair when in relationship, particularly when things feel like they're at a standstill, like nobody wants to budge either direction? How do we break the ice in those scenarios and move forward?
Stress in relationship can really bring down everybody's calories.
Right.
And I've worked with the most convoluted, weird, ugly infidelities and weird stuff. And I have never seen that people don't have enough calories for digging the gold. One gold. Gold digging is not what you think. It's something more fun. To will yourself to dig one gold, find one good thing about your partner, about their character, about how they treat you, about how they treat the world, who they are in the world meaning your family and further. Willing yourself to love is that desire. I'm going to find one good thing. And I remember with my infidelity couple, oh my God, they didn't talk to each other, living in separate rooms, but because of children, they had to deal together. And there was just energy of smoking from the ears, anger at each other. It was really ugly. And I said, find one gold. Because for a while, maybe 2 weeks, they didn't even talk. But the energy was really disturbing children. They didn't know why. Suddenly, mom and dad don't talk, but it was really, really, really distressing. And I said, find one gold. There is no gold about him. Well, you married him at some point. Maybe at some point in the last 15 years you've been together, there was one good thing. Well, yeah, he was really there for a child when a child had fever 10 years ago. Right? He said, okay, don't say nothing to him, but that one sentence. You know, I appreciate that you took care of little Johnny when Johnny had ear infection. That's enough. And to him, I said the same thing. The only thing you can say, one thing you appreciate about her. That's why I call it gold digging, because you have to dig through the mud. And we all see all this mud. It's all, and you can really deplete yourself from any joy. Or you can strategically, I'm going to find one gold, one good thing. And this is how you start. And I literally help these clients. Gold digging is one of the 3 repair strategies. So another one is self-care. Take care of yourself. I know I'm in the edge. I know I'm going to get angry. I know I'm going to explode. So what's a self-care in that situation? Simply saying, you know what? I'm so mad right now that I'm going to say something I will later regret. So I'm just going to go for a walk. I'll be back in half an hour. I'll be back in 2 days. But say, I'll be back.
Right.
Because everybody has a wound of abandonment.
Right.
Everybody has this deep fear. Even if you want to break up, the moment they bring the breakup, it hurts. Right? We never want to threaten each other with the D word and those lower energetic things that can deplete us both. We want to feed the relationship with gold. One gold. Give me one gold about your partner. I always say to clients, if you cannot find anything, look at a movie. Yeah. Any good quality of any male actor. Find that. Superman saved the world. Wow. It's not because you and Superman have a relationship, but because you have a relationship with finding gold. You are becoming a stronger digger. You are becoming more qualified. So tell me one good thing about your partner. This one, X one.
Oh my goodness.
Everyone. Right? Gold digging on the spot is the best.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's hugely important. You know, one thing about somebody that means a lot to me is that I feel like he has a huge heart, and that's been a priority for me in a partner. So absolutely. I think ultimately, you know, we look sometimes to heal some of the traumas that we may have experienced in the past. And so I do think, you know, it's important to recognize so much of the good that, you know, new relationships bring. But it also brings me to another question that I have for you, which is, how do you know when to walk away?
Okay. I have a walk away formula, 3-3-3. Most people walk away because they are fed up energetically, emotionally, or they are stimulated by you did this and you didn't do that. That's okay. This can be a good reason to leave, right? But for 3 days, without saying, I'm going to leave you, no threatening, for 3 days, stay with yourself and watch him. Oh, he's so happy now. He's really helpful here. What a beautiful big heart. It's so beautiful. Do I want to break up now? Actually, I don't. So you have to stay in the space of I want to do it for at least 3 straight days. So that you are not doing it emotionally triggered, but you are doing it because it's a wise decision. Even when everything is good, I'm done. Even when everything is peaceful, yeah, it ran its course. Now, second 3 of the formula is for 3 weeks. So first, for 3 days, you live with yourself. And once you conclude, I want out, this is really not going to work for me anymore. I really want to, move on. You sit 3 weeks with yourself and you make logical, mathematical path. What happens to the car, to the cat, to the dog, to the, to the mattress we just bought? What happens to life? Where am I
Right.
going to live? What happens to children on Christmas? What
Mhm.
happens on birthdays? How would life look like?
Right.
I had a client, I am so done with him. Rah, rah, rah. I said, 3 days, stay in it. Oh, I've been in this for 5 days. I am done. I said, okay, so what do you need to leave? What do you mean? I just need to tell him. I said, but where are you going to live? I'll rent a place. Where? How much does it cost? Do you have a furniture? Who gets this? Who gets that? What happens to children? And she's all, fake eyelashes and buttocks and pretty everywhere. I said, how much money you need? Oh, 10,000. I said, really? Look at you. You spend 10,000 just on your looks every month. Oh, oh, I didn't think about that. Well, let's start thinking.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
you sit with yourself for 3 days. You sit with paper and a pen and your brain and logistics. So if we went from heart, 3 days at least, then we go to the brain for 3 weeks. You make a plan, you figure everything out. And then depends on which stage you are, you use next 3 months to do whatever it takes to fix it, especially if you have tendencies to feel guilty,
Mhm.
to judge yourself later. Oh, I should have tried. There is nobody else out there. I made a mistake. It was much easier, right? So you do 3 months that I'm trying my best. I'm really digging the gold every day.
Mhm.
I'm really taking care of myself. I'm doing what's right.
Mhm.
So you can live with yourself,
Mhm.
because that's the relationship you're going
Mhm.
to have from then on. Without this person, you still have to look at yourself in the mirror.
Right.
And that's the path. Once the 3 months are over, or somewhere during the 3 months, you can say, I really want to do my best,
Mhm.
because we both are kind of seeing that we are on rocks.
Mhm.
We don't ever want to come and threaten. I'm just going to divorce you. We should better get divorced. No, we'd never want to trigger anybody's potential wounds. And we
Mhm.
all have abandonment wound.
Right.
I want to talk nicely, clearly. Pretty much, if I am ending this, I'm going to do it with so much class, with so much grace. I'm going to do it the best I can. And then when you have, but I can't, I'm so angry, I want to, blah, 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 then you're actually not ready to let go.
Mhm. Mhm.
The best time, especially for a woman, to let go is after you have grieved the loss of relationship while you are still in it.
Mhm.
Because if you are slowly suffering and watching this relationship just welt, you suffer through it. You've been through the worst. Once you're ready to let go and move on, you will actually have wings and you will be seeing new people, and it will be so fantastic.
Mhm.
But if you leave before you grieved, then the grieving process will start.
Mhm.
And now I'm all alone. I have no interest in meeting anyone. All I want to do is, watch TV and eat bonbons and drink myself to sleep, right? And then
Mhm.
you will judge yourself. What have I
Mhm.
done?
Mhm.
So we
Well,
want,
and probably make poor decisions at that
of
point too.
course, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's so beautiful. As somebody who's been through a divorce, particularly with the father of my child, that was a huge consideration. I do think it was a long time coming and, very thoughtful, once we got to that place. But I think it's tough. And I think, I know that one of the most difficult things for relationships, the biggest strain is finances. And secondly, I would add, health and illness into, it plays into the finances, but, both my son and I were severely chronically ill. And I do think that that places a whole other level of stress on relationship. And so, a lot of my own healing was not only physical, but also emotional from all of that time period spent in a relationship that, that was on the rocks, that was struggling. So, but I love the fact that you said grieve before you leave. I think that's beautiful. Once you have gotten through all of that grief, it does um, make you a different person when you finally do leave the relationship. And regardless of the state of the relationship, there is certainly grieving to be done. One of the things that I know a lot of women go through is this idea of self-blame, particularly when they do leave a relationship and in a lot of abusive scenarios, not necessarily physically, but emotionally abusive scenarios where there's a lot of blaming of, I should have known better, I left earlier, I should have this and that and the other. Maybe you could talk a little bit about that for the women that perhaps are really blaming themselves in a very self-loathing kind of way.
The more you blame yourself, the more you are continuing the treatment you were in. In other words, I love my abusing partner so much that I'm going to do to me exactly what he has been doing to me. I'm going to prevent myself from feeling joy, from feeling aliveness, from moving on, from being happy. I'm going to just dig myself a deeper ditch and suffer. Well, then we know who will be your next partner, the one who will match that. There is a time that you can actually, to prevent future problems, you can sit with a deep level of awareness and journal, not just like, driving and thinking, like really sit and take time. Like, what have I done to contribute to this? Analyze, go deeper. How can I change this? How could I prevent this in the future? Take this whole thing as a project. This is why, if you think, I always talk about heart and the brain. When heart is in pain, nature design as that brain can help. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know. Oh my God, the heart is so lost. The brain makes a list, pros and cons, right? When the brain is confused, I don't know, should I go to this house? It's closer to the school, or that one is further, but it's nicer. Oh, I don't know. Ask the heart. We are meant to collaborate with ourselves. So if you're blaming yourself, sit for the pity party, have a good pity party, analyze everything, and close the pity doors. Tell yourself, I'm going to have a pity party for a month, for a week, for a day, for an hour, whatever you want. Don't do it too short if you're going to continue pitying. And be like, I'm totally going to analyze this, and I will never again blame myself for something that happened in the past. There is nothing I can do about it. Oh, I should have cleaned the snow 3 years ago. Gosh, I really should have. It melted. It's over. Just get a shovel for next snow. Right? And it's as silly as crying over 3 years ago snow. Do not do to yourself what you don't want him to do to you. If you are done with that kind of treatment, declare it with grace, cheer to yourself, and know, I learned from this lesson. Thank you for the lesson. Thank you. I'm never going to treat myself like that again.
Yeah. I saw you post something the other day about femininity and masculinity. And I really do feel like there has been a decline in the ability of men to be able to express their masculinity in a safe and healthy way. I think they've been demonized in a lot of ways. And as a mom of a young boy, teenage boy, that's concerning for me because he's growing up in a world where any kind of masculinity that he wants to express is not widely accepted by the younger generation. So, what would you say about that? And how do we help change the messages?
Yeah. This is like waking somebody up. You can't. If somebody is pretending to sleep and it's nice and cozy in the bed, why would I get out? Oh, I'm going to continue pretending, right? But it is here, as you said, as a mom, you want to provide something to your son.
Mm-hmm.
It has been widely spoken, toxic masculinity, toxic masculinity. Masculinity is not toxic. Lack of masculinity is toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it's a lack of femininity toxic.
Mm-hmm.
What do you get? You get robots. We are efficient, we are smart, we are whatever, but we are dead. We have no soul, right? So there are so many traits you can teach your son, not you yourself, but there are places like I just found in a mall. There is I think it's called Leather Works. You can go there and learn how to make your own belt, your own little wallet, things, practical things. And boys love achieving something from here to completion.
Mm-hmm.
Look what I did. Look what I created. And that gives you automatic, natural masculine power that you can trust your own hands, your own skills. And even as a woman, right? If he doesn't have a role model father, you can show him and encourage. In the school, people will tell you, sit and be quiet and behave like a girl. And yes, there is nothing we can do about that now, but we have the whole afternoon every day. Climb the trees, do this, do that, break the cans with whatever the little balls, whatever you need to do. You allow your own child to get experience of contained masculinity and expressed.
Mm-hmm.
So that most of the problems that happen in the school system, when these boys are so nice and sweet, and then they turn out to be demons because they are so suppressed. My own husband, I know he got kidney cancer because of suppressed anger. I know exactly, because cancer is connected to anger and blah, 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 how it happened. And plus, put on top of it all the medications that he was on before that caused the kidneys to create cancer, right? And when we were going through the cancer journey, we were talking about what can we do to express anger. Do you need to go to, distract room, the one that you destroy everything around you, or whatever you need to do? Where is the expression that needs to happen? And he immediately knew it's work. It's work. Right? And me, as a woman who wants to take blame on herself, I would think it's about me. No, I didn't take the blame. I didn't make that for myself. I just asked the proper questions and we came both to the answers. So let your son experience how I feel when I'm contained, how I feel when I'm mindful and writing, drawing, whatever, something I have to be focused. Little boys, they love destroying clocks, old clocks. They like to pull it apart and fix it, put it back together, because it requires focus. It requires something that, I'm building, I'm creating more, right? To all these other little things. I'm so useful. I clean the back of the car. Getting boys engaged into activities that feel boyish. In the good old times, what happened? You have a guy, he opens the hood of the car, the whole neighborhood, all the guys come and they all have an opinion. But now nobody knows how to fix the car anymore. You have to bring the car to dealership to be fixed. So people don't gather. Men don't have that community of elders and stupids and let's get beer together and let's watch football. It's not happening as it was. So we become creative and figure out, how can I get that experience?
Yeah, I do feel now that you mention it that, as women, we do tend to kind of circle around motherhood or around, having female relationships outside of the home and, getting together with your girlfriends. And we tend to prioritize that, but we very often do not allow for the prioritization of male friendships. And I think that's very important.
Because what you're gonna do? You're gonna drink beer and watch girls.
Right,
So my
right.
jealousy comes in, and I don't want you to do that. You better stay at home and be productive.
Hmm.
But we're killing that spirit. I
Hmm.
always say to my husband, go out with your boys so you can come back and be a man for me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Those are the boys. Come back and be the man. And then he doesn't want to go.
It's I think unfortunately there's a fear in a lot of men that they don't even want to be masculine right now because there's a fear in the dating world. Certainly, they're not sure what to do. They're confused. They don't know, should I open the door, should I not open the door, should I pay for dinner, should I not pay for dinner, all of these things. And I think feminism and this idea of equality, gender equality, has really affected men in a serious way as to, they don't know what to do anymore. They want to please us, but they don't know how. So what about chivalry?
Yes. Any day of the week. Right? So if you want that treatment, this is why it's very good to compassionate each other, to
Mm,
understand, to put ourselves in their shoes, like you
mhm.
just did so beautifully. You are aware, should I open the door or not? Because last time I opened the door, she said, I can open my own door. So now I stop opening the door, and she's like standing in front of the door, like, why don't you open the door? Be the man. So they are lost. This is why it's so important early on, as you are dating, even on your dating profile, in the first exchanges when you have together. It's so important to bring out what you like. I'm a married woman. I'm not looking for somebody, but when I have a man at the gym, keeps the door open for me. I always say there is nothing sexier than a man who keeps the door open. And they all, right? Some
Right.
other woman would be like, why? I can do it. But I will speak out what I like. You think I cannot open my own door? Of course I can. But you don't think I can appreciate a man who does it?
Mhm.
I don't need him to do it. But when he does it, he will get that gold. I will serve that gold and say, this is fantastic. So early in a dating, you see how you brought this topic to me. And it's such a hot topic. Everybody wants to talk about it.
Mhm.
Everybody is scared to say something that is not politically correct. If we don't match, you're going to do something against me. Oh my God, what will happen?
Mhm.
Right? But if you bring it up and say, there's these controversial topics about chivalry and what to do. I don't know about you, but I'm old school. I really respect a man who opens my doors.
Mhm.
It makes me feel so safe that if I wear a dress and I'm cold, the man puts his coat on me.
Mhm.
Oh, I love that. So now he already knows, okay, you gave me two examples, and I can come up with two more or 20 more, and I know which direction to go with you.
Mhm.
Or you will have a man who will say, oh, really? So you don't take care of yourself? So now I have to give you my jacket? Get your own. Then you know where you stand. But
Right.
that's also a beautiful way of opening conversation. And
Right.
you could be like, you know what? I want to look pretty with my little lace. And if it gets cold, yes, I want your jacket. Oh, no, you are so selfish. Oh, this is how it looks to you. So if you would have a daughter, sir,
Mhm.
and she wants to look nice and pretty, but she's then cold, would you want her boyfriend to give her the jacket or not?
Mhm.
Would you want her to teach her the lesson or to comfort her? and watch and see what happens. Usually when you bring up if you had a daughter, or if your mother would, or if mother and daughters, usually mostly for daughters, they are super protective because they probably have trauma from the mother.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Helena, we have reached the tail end of our podcast today. I have our 8 rapid fire questions that here at the Remedy Revolution, I ask every single one of our guests. Are you ready to answer?
Let's go, rapid fire.
All right. If you could choose only one natural remedy for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Kissing.
Aw. Tell us something most people don't know about you.
I don't eat sugar. I know, it's scary. I don't even know that about me. I discover it every day. I knew.
If I were to compile a playlist of happy music, what song would you suggest be added?
Sounds of nature. Birds, trees, wind, ocean. Yes.
Nice. What is your favorite guilty pleasure?
I don't know how to have guilt when I have pleasure. So I don't do them both. I either have my pleasure or I have my guilt.
Well, I think that's a fantastic mentality. I think I need to adopt some of that for sure.
Enjoy. Once you're doing something, go for it. Have fun.
What is the most influential book you've ever read?
Illusions by Richard Bach. I was maybe 14. Oh my God, changed everything.
Yeah, awesome. What does the word revolution mean to you?
I cannot help but see the word love backwards in the word revolution. I cannot. So there is something must be very loving that births itself from revolution.
Nice. What does the word remedy mean to you?
Everything is good. Comfort, peace. Oh, thank you. Yes.
And if you could impart one piece of wisdom onto our listeners, what would that be?
Dig the gold. Dig the gold every day. Find the gold about yourself, gold about world, gold about your day. Find that gold. Dig it.
Awesome. So if you are looking to work with Helena or want some more information about her amazing coaching skills, you can follow her at helenasummer.com. And she does have something to offer our listeners. You can tell us a little bit about that in just a moment. You can visit helenasummer.com/woman up. And Helena, tell us a little bit about that gift.
Woman Up is a little manual that is fun, and it talks about 4 feminine strategies to get what you want from men.
Perfect.
One of them is gold digging, and the other 3, you will like the last one for sure. Everybody likes the last one. So enjoy.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Helena. It has been such a pleasure to interview you now in a professional manner. I know we have spent some time together on a friendly basis, which has been wonderful as well. I appreciate all your wisdom and insight. Thank you all for listening today. Take care.
With hope as a guiding light, through darkest days we'll fight the night. With a whole lot of truth, Remedy Revolution is here for you.